Here is the open side of the paper. The length of the top is 28 inches. The width is 16 inches. Extra 4 inches was added for the overlap effect. Rule a line across. The main bodice is drafted from this borderline. On the shoulder line, mark half the shoulder measurement. Here it is 7 inches. From the shoulder line, mark the chest line. The bust divided by 6 plus 2.5. Rule a line to connect. Place the shoulder again on the chest line to get a straight armhole line. Come down from the chest line by 1.5 inch. Rule a line. From the shoulder line, mark the under bust length. Here it is 14.5. Mark the front half length. Here is 17.5. Rule a line as well. Label the lines for easy identification. Slope the shoulder by 1 inch. Divide the distance between the shoulder slope and chest line to get the mid armhole. The resulting inches is 4. This same 4 inches represents the bust span. Place on the nipple line, waistline and full length. Connect with a straight line. Mark the neck width as 3 inches, neck depth 3 inches. Draw the neck curve. Rule the shoulder slope. On the mid armhole, come in by 0.75 inch. Following these statistics, then draw the armhole tightening line. On the half length, open up the dart by 0.5 inch on both sides. From the bust point, draw the dart leg. Come down by 6 inches from the half length to mark the dart stop point. Complete the dart leg plotting as shown. On the chest line, mark quarter of the bust circumference. On the half length, quarter of the waist circumference. Replace the dart intake. On the full length, the top circumference divided by 4 as well. Connect the side line with slight curves as shown. Draw the armhole curve. Go up by 1 inch at the side hem and connect to the dart line. The half length of the front is 17.5 inch and the back is 15 inches. Mark the difference of 2.5 inch below the bust span line. Connect to the bust point with a straight line. On the 4-inch space created for the overlap, extend in the half length. From the neck width, a straight line will be connected. Go up first by 1.5 inch from the half length, then draw a straight line as shown. Extend the chest line. Rule a line to connect the bust point to the chest line. Open up a dart of 0.25 inch on both sides of the line. Connect the dart legs to be later closed down. From the mid armhole to the bust point, draw a princess dart curve as shown. Come down by 1.5 inches on the mid armhole, 0.25 inch away from the bust point. Draw another line to the armhole, extending this line outward by 1.5 inches. Redraw the armhole. Blend from the bust point the dart leg on the side front. You can decide to tighten the under bust further if preferred. Remember, this pattern is on fold. With a tracing wheel, trace the highlighted markings. Apply enough pressure so the traced lines reflect on the pattern beneath. Close the bust dart to match up the side line, then trace the line out. Open flat the pattern paper. Redraw the traced outlines reflected on the other side as shown. This method is done specifically for asymmetric bodies as this one. You can decide to use one pattern to cut the longer fabric, then shorten it to cut the cropped parts if the pattern will later be discarded. Close the bust dart to cut the side. Extend and cut the dart on the center front. Cut the armhole tightening. Crop the top length, cutting through the half length. Tape down the bust dart. Cut the armhole and the dart as shown. Crop the top length on the center front also. Close the overlap line to eliminate gaping. Tape it down and cut the overlap line and the shoulder slope. Cut the other pattern paper through the darts. Close the bust dart, the sides, armhole, the hem curve, the dart to the armhole, center front darts. Close the overlap darts, armhole tightening, shoulder slope, overlap line. On the center front from the half length extension, make a curve to the dart line on the middle as shown. Cut out. The front pattern block is done. For the back block, the armhole line, shoulder and chest line has been drafted. Mark the back half length of 15 inches from the shoulder line and rule a line across. The top length is 26 because of the 2 inches difference between the half length of the front and back. Neck with 3 inches by neck depth 1.5 inch. Shoulder slope 0.5 inch. Mark the mid armhole of 4 inch. Come in by 0.5 inch for the tightening. Connect the line from the shoulder tip. On the half length, come in by 1 inch on the center back. Connect a line from the neck depth to the back tightening, and from 9 inch downwards from the half length, complete the back tightening line. Come down by 1 inch from the chest line, rule a line across. This time, the bust dart is 4 inches plus 1 due to the back tightening intake. Mark 5 inches on different positions. Rule the dart line. Open the dart leg by 0.5 inch on both sides. Come down by 5.5 inches from the half length. Connect the dart legs as shown. Mark all horizontal measurements. Remember to add the dart allowance to the waist measurement. Connect the side lines. Complete the armhole curve. Taper by 1 inch the hem. The main bodice of the back pattern is complete. Draw the princess dart line to the armhole. Extend the line by 1 inch. Redraw the armhole curve. The altered back pattern is complete. Place the fabric on fold to cut the 360-degree flare. Divide the waist circumference of 32 inches by 6.25. This gives 5 1/4. Add the length of the flare, which is the full length minus the half length. Here it is 10.5 inches. Add 1 inch for seam allowance. In total, we have 17 inches approximately. 17 inches will be placed on fold widthwise and 34 inches will be placed on fold lengthwise. On the all folded corner, mark the radius of 5 1/4 on different points. Mark the flare's length of 11.5 inches on different points after the radius line as well. Connect the curve, cut out the flare, open flat the semicircle, separate one folded side, and we have a full circle flare. On the cropped side of the top, the flare will be attached. Make a curve on the middle of the flare as shown and cut out. Take out the back pattern already transferred to fabric. Carefully determine the side of the fabric to be cropped. With the pattern paper, indicate the half length. Add 0.5 inch for seam allowance at the half length and cut through. The cutting process is done. In part 2, we have the sewing process.